So you've got your light bar here, nice light bar. And the cool thing about it is, as you can see here, it's magnetic. So it just, sticks where it's gonna stick. Howdy ho guys and gals, welcome back to the Den of Tools, and today we're talking US General Series 3 Toolbox Hutch, specifically the Hutch. We've talked about this before, oh my gosh, I think we talked about years ago. I put up the petition trying to get them to make one. Hey, look, we won. But it's out. I know I did a video on the whole thing yesterday. They sent us the Series 3, the 72-inch box, and the Hutch. But I wanted to do a deep dive into the Hutch because a lot of people are looking at that, and there were a lot of questions about it. And also we're going to talk about the LED light and a whole bunch of other stuff. So basically right now what we got is we got the Series 3 Hutch, 72-inch. We'll talk about the other sizes coming up later. $700. Now, of course, the first comparison somebody goes is, what about the Icon? The Icon Hutch, it's $1,400, twice the price. Pretty much that's what we're noticing on most of the Icon versus the US General. Half the price for the US General. I got to tell you, Harbor Freight sent me both. I've tried both. I will say the fit and finish, the Icon is better, but for the money, nobody really other than like a super high-end, a pro, probably a pro who owns their own shop and where people are going to go into the shop and they're going to see it. It's like having a pinstripe suit and a tie. It just looks professional. And that's what they're going to see. But I'll be honest, most people would look at I've had friends come by, look at the US General. They're like, that's the most, incredible toolbox I've ever seen. They can't tell the difference. So honestly, if you're a DIY or a prosumer or even a budget pro, I would consider going with the US General. That said, what about the one complaint I hear is height, which just blows me away. This is the height right now at the bottom of the drawer there. You're looking at just over 65.5 inches. I just measured it. All right. This is my son at SEMA last year, and I've shown this before. He's 6'3", plus the fro. He was wearing some big old sneakers, thick soles on him. So he's looking a little bit taller. But you can see here, look at this. I drew a line from the bottom of each door across. Come on, that's a huge difference. It's not even half an inch, folks. There's my brother. He's 6'5", 6. How tall is he? 6'6"? 6'6". All right. Dude's immense. For him, sure, the Hutch would be a problem, but any Hutch is going to be a problem. Look at me, I'm 6'2", and you can see there on the Icon, my eye level is right at the top of the door anyway. So it doesn't matter whether it's an inch or half an inch or difference there. It's not an issue. And if it is an issue, then the Icon's going to be an issue. And the Snap-on and the Matco, they're all going to be an issue for you if that's the difference. I mean, half an inch isn't going to change anything. Let's talk about the features on it. Okay, we got can be enhanced with the LED light. I got the light. In fact, I'm going to do a little insert here in just a second here, and we're going to show you the whole install of the light. It's super easy, super quick. Yeah, it's actually kind of fun. Slotted back wall. This is a huge issue for me, though, with Harbor Freight. The slotted back wall. I mean, look at this here. It's 3 inches on center per slot, okay? Great. That matches up, I think, with Snap-on and maybe Matco or one of the other ones. And it matches up with literally nobody else. Wall control, I got some wall control stuff. Nope, those are 2 inches on center. Which means if I'm using a 12-inch accessory, it fits. Or something like anything that multiplies where they both pan out, sure, that works. But if it's just the double wise, no, they don't work. And you're like, well, Harbor Freight surely come out with a whole ton of accessories that fit those slots, right? Well, they have. I can't find them. Each one comes with 2 accessories, which is great, but where's the rest of it? Harbor Freight, I mean, the Icon's been out for years now. Where's the rest of the slotted accessories? Tough powder coated gloss finish. It's a nice finish. It's not as nice as the Icon, but it's good enough for you and me. Aerosol can holder. We talked about the items that come with it. The protective rubber mat. I like the rubber mat. It's heavier duty than the rubber mat that comes on the 72-inch box itself. Odd, but I like it. Integrated power ports. That's just the pass-through holes that have grommets with little flaps on it, so it looks nice and neat. Dual strut assembly assisted door cams. They work great. They're different than the Icon. Probably they don't look as high-end, but they work just fine. There is one caveat with that, and I think I'll call it out here. I think I showed it in the video, but the bearing, the nylon bearing on it actually rubs against the side panel, and it does leave a little track. And over the years, I'll probably wear in a track there a little bit. And I don't know if it's enough to go through the clear coat on it, but you can see it. And backwards compatible fits the Series 2, not the Series 1. If you're on the Series 1, I don't know if there was a 72-inch Series 1, But if you're in the Series 1, you're out of luck, okay? So let's talk about the measurements here. 78 by 3/4 by 26 and a half by 21 and a half inches deep. It's a good, solid, cabinet. Let's see, I think I have the weight on. We were able to lift it up and put it in place with two people. It weighs 100 and the shipping weight's 212. Comes on a pallet in a box, a whole 9 yards. The product weight itself is 165 pounds. It's hefty. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not the lightest thing, but it's a lot easier to install than the Icon, okay? One thing that people will notice real quick down there at the bottom there, it says 90-day warranty. Yep, just standard, just like the US General currently has. It's a 90-day warranty. Yes, they have parts available. I asked them about it. That you can call the parts department. You can get extra slides and all sorts of stuff. But that said, people are like, well, why do they only have a 90-day warranty? Well, if you want a longer one, you can pay for it. That ups the price. But the fact of the matter is, someone commented on my last video and they're like, well, that thing's going to fall apart in a year and you'll have to pay somebody to take it apart. Yeah, my buddy down the streets had this thing since he rode dinosaurs to school. Look at that. That's a Series 1 US General Pro in a production shop. Gets used each and every day. It's still going strong. That whole thing about these things just falling apart is just malarkey. Doesn't happen, folks. Do the slides wear out? Slides can wear out. Can you replace slides? Yeah, you can replace slides. Not a big deal. All right. So another question. Can't wait. Somebody said, can't wait for the stainless steel top. I sure hope you can, because I don't think there's going to be one. All right. This is not the same setup as the Icon. Now, on the top of it, this is the corner where the 72-inch box meets the Hutch. The Hutch has a bottom built into it. The whole thing's almost standalone. You could use it for something else on top of a bench by itself. It's got a base that's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick that sits right on top of the 72-inch box. Now that's different than the Icon. Now you can see Duncan, when we had the Icon here, it was 2-3 years ago, we had it. There is no base. Basically, the box has 5 sides if you include the door. It's empty on the bottom because it sits flush right on the stainless steel top of the Icon cabinet, and actually uses sheet metal screws to screw down into it. The US General just sits, because the General has the little lip that goes around, and then it goes around 3 sides, but there's a little bit on the corners that comes around. It just locks into place. It just sits there. It is not in any way, shape, form bolted down. So don't put it someplace where there could be a tipping hazard. But I guess if you could tip the Hutch off, you got bigger issues. But the fact of the matter is that it has a raised base on it, and it's not the same kind of thing. So that's, you want to keep that into consideration. There will be no stainless steel top that I can see. Somebody said, what about an overhead cabinet? I don't see an overhead cabinet happening for this either. We look at the top of it. It has that beveled edge. It goes back and has a beveled edge on the back as well. So if you had a cabinet that went on top, I guess you could do it in such a way, but it would be awkward. But look at that. The screws that go in there on the top, those screws stand proud of the surface. You'd have to be a situation where you remove those screws. There's no, on the Icon, it's clearly built to have a cabinet. It has a lip around the outside. It sits down in it. It's got pass-through bolts so you can lock the two together. This is not made for it. When I asked Harbor Freight, they said, we have no plans for that at this time. Looking at the design, I don't see that as a situation that's really going to be feasible. The Icon work light. Now, the Icon work light is flawless in this situation. It's $100. They're not going to come out with the US General version because if it's not broke, don't fix it. Let me show you installing it and setting it up. It's super easy. All right, and this is the Icon lamp kit that goes in your Hutch, whether you're using the Icon or the US General, and pretty much anybody's Hutch, you can use it with that. So you've got your light bar here, nice light bar. And the cool thing about it is, as you can see here, it's magnetic. So it just, sticks where it's gonna stick. This, magnetic as well. So it's gonna stick also. Use a little magnet sensor. This thing is super powerful. It's gonna stick where it sticks. There's your power. That's your power extension. And then this is your sensor. This is not magnetic. The reason being is it senses up against a magnet. And if it was magnetic, it would sense itself. So it can't do that. So you got 3 plugs on here. You've got lamp, magnet, and power. So you just route all 3 of those in. It goes through that, one of your holes back there. All right, we got it wired up for a test run here. We got all 3 plugs in here. This is your power button. I have it in the on position right now. So when this gets close to a magnet, has to be about an inch away. Sorry to give you the strobe effect there. All right, now we're going to wire this up and see how it works in real life. Boom, look at that. That was maybe 5 minutes of work. Now, I did it a little bit differently, okay? The instructions, of course, are for the icon box, and there's a recess in the lid for it, and it's supposed to fit in the lid, and that's what they suggest for this one, but I didn't like the idea of it going back and forth with the cable all the time, every time I opened and closed it. Besides, I like the indirect lighting more than the harsh light that comes from the LEDs. As you can see, when you really get up there, it is more than, well, it can be a little harsh. But anyway, there you can see how we have it set up in there. There's the adapter right there, and you can see the little quarter-sized magnet. It just has to get close, and it turns on. Now, I have my control box right now wired up on the side. I'm going to put it around back now that we're sure that everything works. That's all it takes to install the icon light on your US General Series 3. Okay, now people are going to ask, what about the other sizes? When are we getting our 56-inch Hutch? All right, the 56-inch, well, the Series 3 56-inch and the Hutch and the top box also, because if you don't want the Hutch, you can get the top box. Those are coming out. I posted this a couple months ago, actually. If you go down the bottom there, estimated timing of all Series 3 items. The 72-inch came out May 1st. The 56 is coming out in late summer. The 42-inch is coming out. The roll cab is fall of 23. The 27 is fall. Did I say 42-inch? 42-inch fall. And the 27 is also fall. And the end lockers are fall. Notice what they don't say about the 42 and the 27. There's no mention of a top Hutch because there isn't going to be one. Right now, Harbor Freight is not planning to produce or have in production a Hutch for the 42, much less the 27. I made a joke before about the 27. That would be ridiculous to have a Hutch, and apparently Snap-on makes a 30-inch Hutch. Great. Anyway, but that's different for production. If you're in a workshop kind of stuff, you have to be able to lock the stuff down. For most, and the US General is a DIY prosumer kind of box that may be used by a value pro. But you're not going to see a Hutch really for the 42 or the 27. My plans, honestly, are to keep the 72 with the Hutch, and then I want to get 42 roll cab and top chest and bolt those on the side, and then do one end locker on the left side. That's my whole finished assembly kind of thing. Now, they did have one other thing here to look at. Where do we go here? We talked about the 42. The 26, again, we showed the dates on that. But on the side of my cabinet is the sticker. We were trying to decipher the sticker here, and I'm looking over at my son, Dunk. You saw the stickers, right? It was on the side. And come here. I want him to see this with me. All right, so I brought my son in because we were trying to decipher the sticker. And the first thing we see is the small person with a line through it, the taller person with a line through it, and the regular person with no line through it. And clearly, what's the difference between the two? The line?
I think the first two are like tipping or something.
No, the first two of the people are black. Only white people apparently are allowed to touch the US General box. Okay, I kid. We have a terrible sense of humor around here, but if you could figure this thing out, I don't know. Oh, they say I get it. It's pull, don't pull, push.
Oh.
No little kids can cheer for your box. Don't pull on the box, but you could push the box. I think that's what they mean. Yeah. Anyway, please excuse our humor. We have fun in this family. Anyway, there you go. If you got any other questions, put them down in the comments. I will try to get to them and answer anything else I can. Let me know what you think. While you're down there, don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash the subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.